NBA jazz band from Utah. They played some serious music Tuesday night in Portland. End of the first half, the NBA's top point guard, John Stockton, accidentally poked in the eye by Clyde Drexler. Stockton, the Jazz percussionist, unable to return. So undermanned, trailing, and on the road, Utah coach Jerry Sloan challenged his team to dig deeper. Their response dramatic. Karl Malone mailed in 38. Reserve Tyrone Corbin, a career playoff high 28. And veteran Jeff Malone for 23. And in the final seconds of regulation, Stockton's replacement, Delaney Rudd, for a three-pointer. Oh, my! Right down the middle. 107. Rudd's three-pointer stunned, favored Portland, who then, in overtime, produced a champion's response. Led by the Blazers all-star Clyde Drexler, Portland shot a perfect 7 for 7 in overtime. And now, emphatically, our one win from the NBA Finals.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1992 NBA playoffs. Tonight, Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Utah Jazz.
7 o'clock in the evening in the Wasatch Mountain area, the land of the Great Salt Lake, the Utah capital city in full early evening color as we await Game 6 of the NBA Western Conference Finals. There's the new home of the Jazz. The Delta Center and some 20,000 fans will be cheering for their team, knowing their rabid support is part of Utah's success. This game, counting the playoffs, the 50th Jazz encounter of the year. They've been beaten only 4 times all season. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Enberg, and welcome to the excitement of Game 6. Portland, a victory away from the NBA Finals. Utah, tough to beat at home, needs a win here to force a decisive Game 7 in Portland on Saturday. The key story involves the health, the condition of John Stockton. He warmed up this morning. This is Stockton warming up before the game. He pronounced himself totally fit. He will be in the starting lineup. That despite a frightening moment in Game 5 on Tuesday night. Drexler driving, his left hand strikes the left eye of Stockton. Many feared that Stockton's season might be over, but he described that it wasn't as bad as it looked.
Yeah, I could see fine. They were just, when 2 eyes were functioning, they weren't functioning well together. So it was just a matter of not seeing clearly, not being able to really focus in on objects even that were sitting still. So I thought it'd be worse for the team if I actually did try to go back and play.
We're joined by Steve Snapper Jones, 9 years a pro, a top scorer in the ABA, and a fellow named Magic Johnson who didn't care about that scoring stuff, loved to feed men like Jones. You know the pain of an eye injury. Can you give us some idea how it might affect Stockton's play tonight?
Well, it's 2 things you look for John Stockton. Number 1, will his vision be blurred where he can make those quick, decisive passes? Number 2, will he be aggressive? Or will he be passive? Utah Jazz need John Stockton to be aggressive, set the tone for this game and for the Utah Jazz.
Well, we talk all the time, lexicon of the game, a point guard like yourself seeing the entire floor. That is crucial for Stockton.
Especially in his left eye. Will he be able to see the trailers like you normally do? You know, you can see out the sides of your eyes like that and make those passes.
And Steve Jones, let's take a look at this game from Portland's point of view. They'd like to end it tonight. How could they accomplish that?
Well, they know they're 1 game away, and the lessons that they learned in Game 3 and 4. You can't play a half a ball game. You cannot play 3/4 of a ball game. You've got to be aggressive and disruptive and intense throughout the entire ball game. the most aggressive and intense player the Trailblazers have is Jerome Kersey. And when Kersey's able to get out into the open court, he's another weapon and a thunderous one for Portland. Jerome Kersey needs to be the Jerome Kersey of games 1, 3, and 5. He needs to have a breakthrough. Question mark, will it be tonight? The Trailblazers hope so. They will quiet this crowd if that's the case.
But for Utah, Kersey is scheduled for a down game. He is their thoroughbred. All the eyes of Jazz fans on that man, John Stockton. How well will this Olympian, this All-NBA pro, perform in Game 6? Starting lineups coming up.
Go, Dick.
No NBA team enjoyed a better home season record than the Utah Jazz. Set for the starting lineups, Portland Trail Blazers with a familiar high-scoring backcourt pair of Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter. On the front line, the racehorse Jerome Kersey, the defender. Buck Williams, he's on the mailman again. In the center, Kevin Duckworth. He's had an excellent scoring series. Coached by Rick Adelman in his 4th year, a former NBA teammate of his counterpart tonight, Jerry Sloan, on the Chicago Bulls team, 1973-74. Here are the Jazz. John Stockton. We'll be curious as to how aggressive he'll be off the opening bell. Jeff Malone, the scorer in the backcourt. Karl Malone, number 2 to Michael Jordan in the MVP, or in 4th in the MVP race. He was 2nd in scoring to Jordan on the year and in the playoffs. Lou Edwards starts for Benoit. David Benoit still at home, his father's funeral. And Mark Eaton will offer his 7 feet and 4 inches to deny in the paint. Jerry Sloan, his reputation as a great defender in his playing days. His teams follow in that spirit. Well, the crowd a factor, and with more on that, here's Joel Myers.
Dick, the home court advantage means a lot more to the Utah Jazz than most teams around the league. They only dropped 4 this year and 49 at the Delta Center. This isn't a recent development, though. Over the last 3 years, they have the best home record in the NBA, better than Chicago and better than Portland. When I asked Karl Malone about it this morning, he said, we can be down by 10 or 15 points. We know we're still in it because of the crowd and their emotion. Well, Dick, we are ready. I've got extra sets of earplugs for the entire crew if needed later this evening.
All right, we're underway, and the Trailblazers in black have the ball first. Porter picked up immediately by Stockton. It's Jeff Malone on Drexler. Kevin Duckworth partially blocked. Malone came out to take him, and Malone slows it up. The half-court, deliberate offense of Utah against the up-tempo style of the Trailblazers. It's a fascinating matchup, and it produced an overtime thriller Tuesday. Karl Malone, the mailman, rings up the first points of the game. Stockton with an early assist. Drexler, and Stockton has the rebound, hurries it up court. He thought he might have all the backs turned, was going to take advantage. Around Porter, and scores! Well, Stockton is offering an early and positive reply to his condition.
Well, you know, he's answering all the questions that, here he is driving right here. He goes up, kind of hesitates, like a Jordan move in a sense, and knocks it home. What he's doing here is he's leading his team and letting them know he's all right. Let's go ahead and play this basketball game.
Played 1 minute. Stockton already has a rebound, an assist, and a three-point play.
But at this end of the floor, the key is whether Portland is going to take the ball to the hoop. First 3 possessions have all been from the perimeter.
Stockton all the way. Scores again. And this crowd on its feet, saluting their brilliant backcourt performer, John Stockton. Drexler. Buck Williams can't tip. Out of bounds to Utah.
Well, here he is coming down the floor, and what he's doing is he's just being John Stockton. He's penetrating. He saw that he didn't have a pass, and he took it all the way.
Jeff Malone not there. Buck Williams, who leads the Blazers as he did during the regular season in rebounds. Terry Porter with a 3. Mark Eaton to Stockton. They break out 2-on-2. Edwards. Oh, my. Timeout, Portland.
The key is that the Utah Jazz have been aggressive in attacking the basket. Whenever they've had a chance to run, they've done it. They put the pressure on the Portland defense to get back. And you see no one goes to John Stockton. And if you don't go to a great passer, he'll find someone that can finish. Lou Edwards does it. Portland calls a 20-second timeout. The reason for it, all perimeter. They have yet to move people and attack the rim. And if they're going to beat the Jazz and get this quiet, they have got to go to the rim.
And there, the early shooting, pitching an early shutout. The Jazz, who are 4 for 5 when they've been at bat. Duckworth to Drexler. Buck Williams inside with the mailman. Tough shot, Drexler. Second chance, Kersey. He's been their man. Jerome Kersey averaging nearly 20 points a game during the playoffs. Some 8 points better than his regular season.
At this end, Dick, we've got to see if the Trailblazers come up with aggressive defense on John Stockton. Back him up. He's almost sitting in our lap, and then make it difficult for him to find Karl Malone.
Malone kicked by Drexler. That'll give them a new 24. Blazers stunned looks on their faces at the manner in which Stockton has spurred these Jazz into a quick early lead. Malone on the pick and roll. That leaves Jeff Malone open. When he sets up, he just isn't the same shooter as when he's on the move. Stockton with a steal. Now he's got the whole package. He trips on his own. He thought he was tripped by a player. It didn't appear to be. Kersey at the other end, and it's 9-4.
Well, I think what happened was once he got past Porter and Porter turned around, his foot might have hit his foot, but really didn't cause any real big contact there.
The truth is he won that hoop too bad. He just didn't get there fast enough.
Mark Eaton. What a tip by Jeff Malone. His first points.
Well, turnabout fair play. Drexler gets an offensive rebound on one end, and Jeff Malone come back on the other end and gets one.
The Trailblazers now seem to have settled into what they want to do, but when you let a guy come inside on you, you're going to get these kind of results. Nobody put a body on Jeff Malone. The reason he rarely comes in for offensive rebound.
Duckworth is free from the outside and hits. Former Eastern Illinois star has his first hoop. 4 minutes gone. The Jazz off to a 9-0 start. Malone. Back-to-back baskets for Jeff Malone. Still goes back to Mississippi State during the summer and has basketball camps for underprivileged kids. Drexler jumps into Malone. Tipped out. Malone has it. 2-on-1 with Edwards. Blue Edwards blocked by Kersey and a foul underneath. And that'll be number 2 on Kevin Duckworth.
I tell you, you got a tremendous block on one side of it, and then with Malone trailing the play, offensive rebound. Here, Jeff makes an excellent pass. Now, Blue had just dunked one, thought he was going to dunk this one, and Jerome Kersey said, no, no, no. Here come Malone, offensive rebound, puts it back up, fouled by Duckworth.
That should remind you of Michael Cooper and the fact that guys that get out and think they have easy chances, and they don't quit on plays. Kersey's one of those kinds of players that never gives up, and he always thinks he can make a play. That was a big effort, but it turned out to be bad news for Duckworth as he has to go to the bench.
6'10" Cliff Robinson, number 3, replaces Duckworth. Karl Malone, no one frequents the charity line more, 200 more chances during the regular season than anyone else in the league.
But we have seen the Utah Jazz running. And they only do this in the Delta Center. They are looking for transition cheap points.
Kersey against the shorter Edwards. Robinson stolen by Edwards. He breaks out with Jeff Malone. Takes it all away, and it's blocked again. That's 2 blocks by Kersey, who takes it over Eaton and draws the foul. Errol Garrison, the veteran official, motioning that Eaton came down with his hands to create contact.
Kersey is the man. Robinson lost control of the ball. Blue Edwards out in the open court. He's streaking, thinking, I got another dunk, nobody behind you, and you see the ball knocked away. Sloan, I got to have something. Goaltending, something. But nothing.
Well, Kersey told him, what did I tell you last time? Don't bring it in here. But on this matchup here, I'm sorry, Dick, to cut you off. You know, here is a man, Jerome Kersey, who averaged 12 points during the regular season, now, 19, almost 20 points a game. And the reason being is because Portland's defense enables him to get out on steals and get a lot of dunks or easy transition points.
Well, Stockton has answered that he's okay, and Steve Jones, Kersey has answered the question about, would this be an up or a down game? He's already has 6 points, 2 blocks.
Blue Edwards, not to be denied, threw that one down. Buck Williams thought he was going to get a foul.
Millman to Edwards, and a foul on Porter out on the court. No basket. No basket. Fans couldn't hear the whistle. Blue Edwards. Somebody has charged him. He is playing hard.
We've got a timeout taken by the Jazz.
Off to a great start. The Utah Jazz led by John Stockton, 5 points, 3 assists, and a steal. But Jerry Sloan, a defensive-minded coach, knows there are other qualities he admires.
John Stockton probably helps us as much in that area as anything by what he tries to do from a defensive standpoint. John's not as nasty a player, I guess you might say, as I was. I had that reputation, but he's a lot smarter player than I was. And that's where the difference came in. I wasn't smart enough to know that you might get hurt if you dove on the floor for a ball or got in someone's way.
At the line, Blue Edwards given 2 shots, and that he was ruled to have a clear path to the basket.
Well, they called it a clear path to the hoop. Blue Edwards had an advantage over Terry Porter. Didn't look like that much, but fouled in the front court and given 2 shots, and that gives the Jazz an 11-point advantage.
Edwards had only 8 points on Tuesday night in Game 5. He has 6 already in the first quarter this evening. 6.5 minutes to go. Drexler powers inside. Rebound, Karl Malone. Gets it away from Robinson. Here come the Jazz, to the delight of this Utah crowd.
This is exactly the start that the Trailblazers did not want to see happen, and now they're uphill against not only a charged-up Jazz team, but the crowd as well.
Edwards matches his 8 of Tuesday night. Portland, meanwhile, 3 for 13 shooting in this opening quarter. But Williams denied by Edwards, and Blue Edwards, not that tall, 6'5", but how he can sky.
Anytime you can find someone close to the rim, bad things should happen, but you can see Blue Edwards. He is excited. He's emotionally into this game. Almost got that block.
Well, usually what happens when you're aggressive on offense or on defense, it usually carries over on the other side. So he's been aggressive on offense. It's carried over to his defense, and that's what's happening here for Blue Edwards. Now, for the first time in this series, Cliff Robinson came and drove the lane, jumped up and dished off, and he's going to have to continue to do that once Mark Eaton challenges him in the lane.
First points for Buck Williams. Williams joins Porter, trying to force Stockton to retreat. Stockton twists inside, and Williams rebounds. To as if he almost stepped out of bounds. Cliff Robinson inside. Gets Williams on the second chance. He has 4. Jazz lead cut to 11 as we approach the 5-minute mark of this opening quarter. 9-point lead. Pardon me.
But they haven't gone to Karl Malone trying to get him the basketball now. They have been riding the emotional charge of Lou Edwards, the response by the Trailblazers' Rick Adelman to the call, not happy. A screen across, and this is what they always look for to find Karl Malone at the bucket. Buck Williams needs some help with pressure on John Stockton in order to keep that entry pass from getting in there.
You know, people don't understand how great John is at delivering that basketball when Karl is still in the lane. Most passes deliver the ball when the guy is out of the lane, and now he has to make, 2 or 3 dribbles just to get to the hoop, where Malone doesn't have, he doesn't have to make any dribble to get to the basket because the ball is right there.
Malone now with 6 points, 4 of those from the line. Wide open, Kersey underneath, and a good feed. 8 points for him. Porter with the assist.
The Trailblazers need somebody to keep them close, and right now it's Jerome Kersey. Porter has not come into the game yet. Drexler's had a rough start, and those are the guys that have been carrying him in the first 5 games.
Double team the mailman, so Stockton to Jeff Malone. The runner. Tipped out to Stockton for 3. Tipped out to Malone. Jeff Malone with 6. Drexler yet to score at the Portland end. Porter. Oh, he's good. Taking on the big men inside. Done it the entire playoffs. Foul. Stockton on the charge.
Well, here comes Terry, and what Terry is really good at, when he gets to the basket, he can use his body. He used his body very well against Mark Eaton and converted. He is big and strong, and that's why he can take that blow and still convert the basket.
Tyrone Corbin and Mike Brown in for the first time for Utah. Kersey fouled by Corbin, one of the stars for Utah, although in defeat in overtime on Tuesday night. Corbin with a career playoff high of 28 and his high as a Jazz. Hitting those jumpers. I know you were watching at home. It surprised you, Magic, how well he scored outside.
Well, what surprised me was that the fact that they were going to him. You know, he was a go-to guy. And normally on Utah, it's the 2 Malones and Stockton. But with Stockton being out of Game 5, they had to get some offense from somebody else, and Tyrone Corbin provided that offense.
Kersey looking for his 10th point of the quarter.
Now, if the rest of the Trailblazers can pick up his lead, they can find a way to get back in it. They're only down 7, and if they can maintain their presence, they may have a chance to get a few breaks and get into the game.
Corbin unable to handle the pass, and on the turnover, it'll be Portland the other way as Delaney Rudd will spell John Stockton.
Magic, you've been in this position where a team starts out with a great emotional charge. What are you thinking at that point? You still got a lot of time left in the game.
Well, basically, let's get into our game, because right now Portland has not really gotten into their game quite yet.
There's Porter missing the little 5-footer and a foul. It's going to go against Utah's Mike Brown.
Mike Brown is first.
Is first.
See, Dick, what is happening right now, and Steve, is the Trailblazers really hasn't got one layup. It's been, 3 layups in this game, and all by the Utah Jazz. And normally, Portland is the one getting all the dunks and the layups. And so they haven't gotten into their transition game quite yet, and they must do it by finally stopping the Utah Jazz on their defensive end.
Edelman with Stockton out will rest his point guard Porter. Drexler still has been shut out. And the foul on Brown, although he was down on the floor, he was ruled to have pulled down Buck Williams. So 2 quick fouls on the Bear, Mike Brown.
This is a perfect call as Mike Brown gets hooked up. Now he knows he can't get the rebound, but he's not going to let Buck Williams get the rebound. Pulls him down.
Both teams now in the penalty.
But those are the tricks of the trade, except the Big Bear got caught that time. But he had the right idea. Knowing that he wasn't in position, he wasn't going to give Buck Williams an easy putback.
Williams 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Thornton comes in.
These 2 quick fouls on Mike Brown change everything that Jerry Sloan would like to do. Thornton is not nearly as aggressive, not as good at the offensive end. He doesn't have intimidating qualities of Mark Eaton. Portland now has a chance to get inside, and we'll find out whether they attack the rim.
Well, with foul trouble, this is where you miss David Benoit. You don't have that other guy that you normally would have because of foul trouble. Now they have to go into Thornton.
Thornton barely able to save it. Tyrone Corbin gets it back. He's forced out, and the call is foul Portland. Cliff Robinson has his first, and with it a timeout. 2:48 remaining in the opening quarter. The Utah Jazz by 5. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, where Utah leads by 5. 2:48 mark opening quarter. Jerry Sloan of the Jazz against the Trailblazers' Rick Adelman. And game of basketball. What goes around comes around. 18 years ago, front row were these 2 men for the Bulls, coached by Dick Motta, Jerry Sloan, Rick Adelman, and even a third backline performer has become a head coach here in the NBA. Bob Weiss, now the head man with Atlanta. So Dick Motta, just announced as the Philadelphia 76ers new coach, to Proud Products. And another announcement today. I'm sure they'll deal with that at, excuse me, Doug Moe. I'm sorry. Doug Moe was. Another announcement today. Our friend Chuck Daly taking the job with the New Jersey Nets.
Portland's open the floor up, and they see if they try to get something inside. Buck Williams with a chance to go against Bob Thornton.
And a holding call against Thornton.
That was a smart move. You have a banger in and Bob Thornton who's going to bang you and foul you. So why not go into Buck Williams, try to draw a foul, and Coach Adelman accomplished what he wanted.
Buck Williams has been perfect at the line, 4 for 4. Looks for his 7th point. Because of the defensive challenge of stopping the mailman Malone, Williams has not had a big scoring series. In fact, averaging only 5.5 points a game coming into game 6.
If you're a Portland fan, you have to feel good about their position. With Porter only having 2, Drexler not having scored, they're only down by 5. And after the Jazz really jumped out to a great start.
9-0 off the opening tap. Blocked by Williams. Here comes Drexler. Robinson connects at the other end, and suddenly it's a 3-point game.
They finally got that first layup off the defense, a block shot, and that's what we've been talking about. They must provide offense off of their defense.
With Delaney Rudd, the Trailblazers should be looking to apply more pressure on the ball, and that'll get John Stockton back in the game in a hurry.
Thornton can't handle it. Knocked away to Corbin. Karl Malone scores.
What the Utah Jazz have done better than the Trailblazers here in the first quarter of play is hit that offensive glass. They've got multiple opportunities.
Danny Ainge has his first 2. Minute and a half to go, first quarter. 29-26. Utah a must-win for them. Portland a victory. They're in the finals against the winner of the Bulls in Cleveland. Game 6 in that series tomorrow night here on NBC, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 here on the West Coast. Malone, back-to-back baskets. And the mailman now has 10 to lead the Jazz. Drexler has his first basket. The
Dick, he got in rhythm that time. He was able to take 2 or 3 dribbles and then shoot the basketball in his rhythm.
Drexler on Jeff Malone, tough chance. And he gets the roll. 45 seconds left in the quarter. Resetting the clock.
This is an explosive period by the Jazz, 33. They've only had better than that in Game 4, where they had 37 in the second quarter of play. So they've come out with the idea of getting some separation early. They had it. They've lost it as the Trailblazers have closed into 5.
The Blazers go 2 for 1 here. And a foul.
Bob Thornton
underneath on Kersey.
Buck Williams will shoot.
What happened was Buck Williams set a pick on Thornton, and he pushed through the pick, and he was whistled a foul in that particular play.
If you can read lips, he's saying he's holding me, and I got to do something. But right now, the tricks of the trade are going in the favor of Buck Williams, and the Trailblazers able to stay in the ball game with the penalty by going to the line.
And Buck Williams has been a perfect 7-for-7. The NBA's top shooter on the regular season. Most of those scores coming close in. The only man over 60% from the field, but down here in this series.
Well, his role is not to score in this series. It's to play defense and to concentrate on that. And that's why his field goal percentage is down, because he's been concentrating on guard Malone.
Stockton back in the game. 3-point try, misses everything. Kersey. Corbin got a piece of it and knocked it away, and as Kersey reached for it, it went off his fingertips.
Similar type players, Kersey and Corbett. They never give up on plays. That ball clearly looked like it belonged to Jerome Kersey, and Corbett distracted him. He lost control of the basketball.
12 on the shot clock, 28 seconds left in the quarter. Malone losing his balance. Looking to see if he twisted an ankle. Stockton throws up a prayer. Cliff Robinson rebounds. Here come the Blazers. Shot clock off. Kersey to the hole. And he's fouled. And Karl Malone didn't like the call.
I tell you right now, even though the Utah Jazz are up, this is not the pace they want to play.
Kersey's the only one that has really been attacking the rim, and every time he's gotten a chance, he's put the pressure on the interior defense of the Utah Jazz. The foul on Malone, he's not happy with the call.
First miss by Kersey.
You see the reaction of Karl Malone, and that tells you how intent he is about staying in the ball game, smiling now, knowing, yeah, I fouled him.
First foul on the mailman. Kersey has missed the first free throw of the entire game. Misses them both. Karl Malone rebounds. 6 seconds. Now down to 4. Stockton hurrying. Three-pointer. Not there. And that's the end of the quarter. A quarter that began with John Stockton making a mark on his return and sparking his team to a 9-0 lead off the top of the game, but finding Portland very successful at the free throw line, closing the gap to 3 at the quarter. Welcome back to Game 6. Portland leading 3-2. Jeff Malone in the timeout with a heat pack on his lower back. He's had back problems throughout the second half of the year. This is normal procedure for him. Leading scores, Kersey and Buck Williams, 10 each. Karl Malone tops the Jazz with 10. Utah had a 13-point lead at 21-8. But the Blazers, true to their nickname, roaring back to close the gap to just 3 at the quarter. Malone inside and a whistle.
Brad wants to know what it takes. Mark Ryan wants to know what it takes to keep him out of the lane.
First foul on Bryant just into the game for Portland.
The problem is the screen across, way too deep for Karl Malone, and once he's in that position, you're not going to be able to get around.
Here comes that same pick.
Same problem.
Malone too deep. And Drexler comes over to help out, and 3 seconds is the call.
So that time, though, the double team got there before he could turn into the lane, and that caused the 3 seconds. So good move by Clyde Drexler to get down there and double team him quickly.
Well, you don't see that call very often anymore, do you, the 3-second call?
Not with the superstars first in the lane.
As Allen said, just 5-second call. That'd make me happy. Drexler cuts the game to a 1-point contest. Mike Brown at the other end, and a foul. It's on Brown for charging his third.
The Jazz cannot afford to lose manpower, and Brown is one of those, and this is his third foul. He came charging into Cliff Robinson, and that makes Mark Eaton a player that has to come back into a fast-paced game.
And Steve, this is the wrong type of game for the Utah Jazz. They have to slow this game down and execute their offense.
Cliff Robinson from outside. Mark Bryant travels. There was the opportunity for Portland to take its first lead.
All right, Matthew, do you think they got caught up in that great emotional charge at the outset, and they can't slow down?
Exactly. They're at home. They feel they can run a lot more than they're capable of doing, and they're out of their game right now.
Ty Corbin. That's the kind of shooting that spirited Portland to a near win in Game 5. Porter answers in a hurry at the other end. 35-34.
What Porter is able to do against John Stockton over the dribble, off the dribble, is overpower him. And whether he continues to do that and try to get some fouls on John Stockton will be an important story for Portland.
Great left-handed pass, and then Eaton fouled by Drexler, who saved the easy goal.
Well, credit Cliff Robinson with the mistake. You always play your defense in and go out. And what happened was he was going out to get Malone, left Big Mark Eaton up under the basket, and you know what's going to happen if he gets it down that low. He's going to go to the basket with it. Well, see here, there's a man. He left. He was supposed to be guarding Malone and then rotate over to Eaton, and he got there maybe 5 seconds too late, and Clyde had to foul Mark Eaton. That's that team defense breaking down. Excuse me.
Karl Malone, Magic, getting a breather, and he hasn't had many in this series. Played over 50 minutes in Game 5. Eaton hits them both. Utah by 3.
With Eaton out, with Karl Malone out, Eaton, Thornton are not big scorers. That puts a lot of pressure on Stockton, Lou Edwards.
Drexler a three-point try. Stockton the other way for Utah. It's Eaton, Thornton, Lou Edwards, Ty Corbin, and Stockton for Utah. Thornton against Mark Bryant. Lou Edwards around Drexler to score. 10 for Lou Edwards. Porter, Robinson, Bryant, Drexler, and Ainge for the Trailblazers. Bryant in a crowd. Thornton rebounds. No advantage here for Utah. Corbin will get it to Stockton. Edwards. 7 on the shot clock. Corbin. Drexler. Those legs don't look as if they were as sore. So sore kept him out of the final 4 games of the season. Can he glide? By 5. Blue Edwards has 10. Tough playoffs for Edwards, who lost his starting job. And when things were tough, to whom did he go for support and advice?
My wife really knows a lot about basketball, and she's kind of a a coach for me at home. She doesn't tell me what I need to do, but she helps me see things a little differently, because sometimes a lot of people would tell you things you want to hear, and she told me that I wasn't really playing well and that I had to go back out there, stop feeling sorry for myself, and show people that I could play.
Valerie Edwards, the inspiration for Blue Edwards. That's just, you can just multiply that story for every player in the league. The critical women in their lives. Terry Porter has been so sensational from three-point range. Misses on that one. His first try tonight. Utah 39, Portland 34. 8.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Knocked away by the Trailblazer defense as they double-team Edwards.
Since Edwards can jump so high, Blue Edwards, and you got Danny Ainge on him, I would go post Blue Edwards on Danny Ainge instead of having him out on the perimeter.
Porter trying to make a quick move and get the Trailblazers going to the hoop. They've been stuck on the perimeter, and that's hurt them. Cliff Robinson gets a medium-range jump shot, but Portland has not gone to the rim, and even with Mark Eaton and talent to try to get into the penalty.
Seven on the shot clock. Stockton, Edwards for three. Blue Edwards leads the Jazz with 13.
That was called by John Stockton's penetration.
Porter, his three. Edwards up high for the rebound. A tigerish effort by Blue Edwards. Jeff Malone.
That's John Stockton again, surveying the floor, finding the man, throwing the ball to him for the easy basket.
Timeout called by Rick Adelman.
The Utah Jazz want to set up a two-man game for John Stockton. Danny Ainge is aware of that. The penetration, the kick out, and that gives Blue Edwards an easy opportunity, and the Trailblazers have to cut down the Stockton penetration, or the crowd is going to get back in it, and Blue Edwards is a different player than he was in Game 5. He is looking to be offensive-minded. The Trailblazers did not make up any ground when they had Karl Malone and Jeff Malone on the sideline. Blue Edwards came up big.
Leads all scorers with 13. He had 16 in Game 4, his top effort in the entire playoffs. Jazz starting this quarter as they did the first quarter, making 4 of the first 5 shots.
Shot clock at 4.
Ainge. Malone beats Buck Williams to the ball.
Right now, what you have a case of is that Utah's half-court defense is really affecting the Portland Trailblazers.
Jeff Malone. Eaton wouldn't fall. Kevin Duckworth back in for Portland, gets the rebound. Porter, beautiful pass to Buck Williams.
That's what you have to do with Mark Eaton. Porter penetrated, drew into him, kicked it off to the open Buck Williams for the 2-point.
Portland's going to get it done. They've got to start at the defensive end, and they've got to pressure Stockton. They got to make him find a tough angle to see the floor and not to make a good inside entry pass to Karl Malone.
2 seconds on the clock, and Stockton worming his way in for the layup. He has 7.
You're talking about courage and a big heart, Dick. There it is. John Stockton's got both of them.
Porter left alone, blocked by Eaton. Stolen by Kersey. Malone didn't see him. Kersey has led his team in steals throughout the playoffs.
Got a mismatch trying to get inside.
The mailman gets the rebound. 3-on-1. Jeff Malone. And the Blazers open a 10-point advantage.
It looked like to me, Steve, that the Portland Trailblazers are a little bit tired. I thought Utah might be, but it looked like Portland is tired.
Utah is knowing that they have to have this game, are playing with all-out aggression. The Trailblazers are playing like a team that has a cushion. If they want to end it, they've got to get real intense at both ends of the floor. That last transition opportunity, Trailblazers only had one guy back.
Buck Williams, meanwhile, with a great first half, 14 points. Danny Ainge off the steal. And it's suddenly back to a 6-point contest.
Whenever Portland relaxes at the defensive end, that's when the Utah Jazz are able to run the play, get the ball to people that they want. And when they put some pressure on, the Jazz have a tough time finding the shot.
Malone, well, that's a tough shot. Little hop, skip, and a jump and a toss, and it all worked out. Whistle away from the ball. And Clyde Drexler, Tyrone Corbin will return to the game. Karl Malone's second foul.
Ty Corbin returns to the Jazz.
They forced Karl Malone out of the lane, but he thought he had a good rhythm and enough distance, hit that little fadeaway jump shot.
Wide open Kersey, and he drills it. Foul as well on Tyrone Corbin.
He threw that pick again. That's the second time Utah has been caught on trying to fight through the pick, push through it, and now it's...
You see, right through the pick, Tyrone Corbin is coming, not trying to get around, so it's an obvious call for the official to make. It could result in a 3-point play for the Trailblazers.
Buck Williams gets the free throw, now has 15 points. The Utah lead is 5 with 4 left in the half. NBA Showtime, Bob Costas and the crew in New York with all the news of the day, including the French Open results. Malone, a prayer. Buck Williams picks up the loose ball. Clyde Drexler.
Porter's got a one-on-one with Karl Malone. He wants to get to the rim. Let's see if he goes inside and can keep Eaton from blocking the shot.
Kersey again. What a sensational series Jerome Kersey has had. 14 and a half.
Well, give Terry Porter credit for that basket. He drew the double team, the triple team with his penetration, kicked it out to the open man Kersey for the easy 2.
Tyrone Corbin hitting that 18-footer. He has 6. 3 minutes to go in the half. Duckworth with that shot put effort. 4 for him.
Both teams shooting the basketball very well right now.
Well, Portland showing some resiliency because they could have wilted in that one stretch, came up with a couple of turnovers, and now they're back to that 3-point ball game. Pressure back on the Jazz to respond with a good play.
Malone with 2 seconds, got the ball deep. Stockton setting him up.
That's the best play in the world. Get Karl Malone down on the box and just give him a chance to work. He's got a good chance to score a good foul.
Duckworth again. He's hit 2 in a row.
Well, they're making Mark Eaton pay the price for his helping out. Duckworth always lays out to the free throw line, and they're kicking out to him because Mark Eaton is helping out.
Off the foot of Terry Porter. And with it, a timeout. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the half. Utah and Portland. It's down to a 3-point game.
New York, and coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll be joined here in the studio by the new head coach of the New Jersey Nets, Chuck Daly. And we'll turn our attention to the Eastern Conference Finals between Cleveland and Chicago as we hear from the Bulls' Horace Grant. Right now, let's head back to the Delta Center and rejoin Dick Enberg, Steve Jones, and Magic Johnson. Gentlemen.
All right, Robert, a 54-51 Utah lead with 2 minutes to go. Steve?
All right, Karl Malone is right here. The Trailblazers have tried several ways to defend him. This time, they are going to swarm with everybody to the ball, and you'll see how difficult it is for Karl Malone in this game tonight to get a good look at the rim. last resort. They got one more guy they can bring in there, and they'll play 5-on-1.
Well, Steve, they're able to do that, Portland is, in terms of sending 4 guys, because Utah has 3 men above the three-point line, and so they know they can't come and crash on the offensive.
2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes.
Only 6 on the shot clock, so Stockton takes it in. 9 points, 9 rebounds. Wife Nada cheering him on. Stockton with a steal. To Corbin, around Duckworth, and blocked by Duckworth. Another shot block by the Trailblazers.
Every time it seems as though the Trailblazers are going to get back in it, it's John Stockton coming up with a big play to make the difference. Duckworth makes a saving block for Portland. Mismatch, Kersey against Stockton.
Stockton takes it in, and he draws the foul.
Can somebody explain to me why the last 2 times Jerome Kersey has been on John Stockton and he's taken him twice off the dribble?
He happened to be the first guy to get to him. And, of course, you don't want to have him have a free reign, but Kersey's got to also know that when he's in that situation, he has got to keep John Stockton in front of him. Stockton is going to look to go to the hoop. He drew the foul, missed his first free throw.
First foul on Kersey. Utah by 6. 1:35 left in the half. Porter hounded by Stockton. And illegal defense against Utah.
Jeff Malone.
Warning to the Jazz, an illegal defense warning to the Jazz.
Jeff Malone got stuck guarding an area right in there, and he wasn't guarding a man. That's what created the problem, an easy call. And that's where most of the illegal defense is on, guarding an area and not a man.
Kersey. Karl Malone loses it. Duckworth throws it away. And out of bounds was Kersey and Duckworth as they scrambled for the loose ball. Rick Adelman thought there was a foul in that exchange underneath.
Duckworth passed up the shot he'd been making. He was wide open, a free throw line jump shot, which he'd been using against Eaton, threw that one away. And Portland can't afford to give the Jazz a little bit more life going into the locker room.
Final minute. Utah with the ball in a 6-point lead. Karl Malone outside. Buck Williams and Porter surround him. 3-pointer for Stockton. It is short. Buck Williams clears to Porter. Drexler back out to Buck. Duckworth. There's the shot.
Duckworth.
I guess you were right, Steve. If he had took that shot last time, it would have ended up in the same result.
Kevin Duckworth is 4 for 5 tonight from the floor. 3-second difference.
They're calling for a double team against Stockton. That means Ty Corbin's open.
And he hits it. Ty Corbin has been valuable property for the Jazz in this series. And Porter at the buzzer connects. What a play. Terry Porter just does beat the buzzer. He wanted the foul as well, and thus ends an exciting, fast-paced first half. Utah 59, Portland 55. The Jazz at one time early led by 13. We'll be joining Bob Costas and Glenn Buckner for the Prudential Halftime Report. But first we pause for these messages.
Time at the Delta Center, and the Utah Jazz hope they're 24 minutes away from forcing a Game 7, but a 21-8 lead has dwindled down to 59-55, and that is the correct score, 59-55 at the half. Bob Costas in our NBA Showtime studio in New York, and we're joined in a moment by Quinn Buckner. The lone remaining NBA team without a coach filled that vacancy earlier today when the New Jersey Nets named Chuck Daly the successor to Bill Fitch. Nets Vice President Willis Reed knows the Nets got one of the NBA's very best.
I think he's a great coach. I think he teaches good defense. His players are mentally tough. They can play under adverse circumstances, and I think his players like playing for him. And I think he has proven that at Detroit, and by the fact that he had winning seasons in the playoffs for all 9 years there. So I think we got the best coach that was available, and as I said, we won the coaching lottery.
They won the coaching lottery. Here is the Shaquille O'Neal of coaches, Chuck Daly. Now, you've won a couple of titles with the Pistons and all the Eastern Conference Finals, all the successes. Likely to have a gold medal this summer when you come back from Barcelona. After being in this for so long, why take this on with this group of ruffians at this point?
Well, frankly, I didn't have a lot of time to think about it, but I made a decision that I want to remain in basketball. I like the hands-on. I like the action. I didn't want to be removed from it at this point, and it was kind of a quick decision, really.
What happens if a Chris Morris or a Derek Coleman says, not tonight?
I want to talk to you about baseball today.
No, that evasive tactic won't work this time.
No, Quinn will understand. I'm going to start them both and never take them out of the game, so I'll never have a problem.
So as long as they play 48 minutes.
48, that's it, no problem. No, I don't know. I understood and I saw what happened. I think Quinn, and sitting here, will say that not many benches are very happy in the NBA. Every guy wants 48 shots in 48 minutes. You have those episodes, and that's part of dealing with the situation. I don't know either one of these kids, and I'm looking forward to getting to know them.
Chuck, you know, you've had some difficult personalities in Detroit. I think everybody knows that. How much do you think that's going to help you deal with these kids? I know you don't know them, but you have a sense of what they may be like anyway.
Yeah, I think everybody's different. I think you meet people, you make decisions about people. I don't think you do that before you meet them. And I'm looking forward to working with them. I think there's some talented people. And when you have talented people, you know, you're willing to put up with a few things. I like talent. You know, people can do things.
In Detroit, Jack McCloskey got the players, and you coached them. That might have been the source of some friction. What's the relationship with Willis Reed? How much input into personnel will you have?
Well, I noted Willis's comments there, and he read them exactly as I wrote them. Did a good job. But no, I have no interest in doing his job. I'm going to coach the team, but I think Willis is the kind of guy, and Brendan Sewer is going to come with me. We're going to sit down and talk about personnel, and we're going to work it out and try to keep improving the roster. And we want to win. Everybody in the situation wants to win, as they do in every franchise, and I feel the same way.
Quite a competition with Riley across town, not only in the standings, but with the duds, the two sharpest dressers in the NBA.
Yeah, I'm at a disadvantage. He's younger, thinner, taller. But if I can get his cast-off suits, I got a shot.
Congratulations, Chuck.
Thank you.
New coach of the New Jersey Nets. And up next, we'll turn our attention to the Eastern Conference Finals between the Bulls and the Cavaliers as we hear from one of the Bulls' unsung heroes, Horace Grant. That's after this message from Prudential and a word from the NBA. In Cleveland, the Eastern Conference Finals between the Bulls and Cavs continues with Game 6 at the Richfield Coliseum. Chicago, of course, leads it 3-2. The spotlight for Chicago always shines brightest on Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. That's somewhat unfortunate for Bulls forward Horace Grant, because quietly, he's grown into one of the league's most consistent players. Peter Bessie has more on that from Chicago.
His job is to block shots, defend, fight for rebounds, battle bigger men night after night, while others grab the points and the glory. For a power forward, he's slight at 6'10" and 230 pounds. But it's a measure of the man that Horace Grant has learned his limitations.
He doesn't ask for much. He doesn't ask to be involved in offense. He go out and he works hard. He get his own offense. He provides for himself. He comes out every game and give us everything he got.
I wanted to score when I first got here. I wanted to score a couple years ago, but it never got me anywhere. You know, wanting to score. So in order to be happy and be the complete player that I know I can be, I just had to go out and accept my role as a rebounding and a defensive player.
He doesn't back up from opponents, and he doesn't back down from superstars, even the one on his team. When Michael Jordan declined an invitation to the White House, Horace spoke out.
Well, I'm disappointed because, Mike is our team leader. He's respected by millions and millions of fans and people, and I think it just showed disrespect first to the president and to his teammates that, not showing up.
Some things are best left unsaid. Horace usually will say those things, and God bless him.
If you know me as a person, I don't worry about really what people say or really think about me, because I have to live with myself, and if I feel that I have to voice my opinion about something, especially about this team, I'm going to do it.
We won a championship last year, and, I want to win another one. If Michael want to isolate himself like that, we're not going to win.
Where I come from, Peter, it's like, pride, not pride, I would just say being treated fairly is everything.
You come from very humble beginnings. I guess you're talking about growing up poor, so the only thing you have is your pride. Mm-hmm. Is that why it's so important to be treated fairly?
It is. I think we put the P in poor. From a very small town, something like Mayberry on the Andy Griffin Show. It's just like everybody, really sticks together, and when you don't have anything else, that pride definitely comes into play.
He has been a rebounding demon, especially in this series against the Cavaliers, but his scoring, like Pippen's, off from the regular season, and Jordan continues to score in the playoffs about 35% of their points, and that's higher, great as Michael is, higher than Phil Jackson would like.
Well, that's definitely higher, but when you think about Horace Grant, the thing that I like about him, when we go through these times where we're worried about what's going on in the inner city, and rightfully so, Horace Grant is a kid that has gone back to the inner city, back in Sparta. He's done some things in Chicago. He has rebounds for research, where he donates money for research for, some disease. And this is the kind of person he is. And to speak his mind is not unusual. Everyone you talk to says this is the way Horace has always been, a very committed person.
Twin brother Harvey Grant, of course, with the Washington Bullets, averaged exactly 18 points a game this year for Wes Unseld. Before we get out of here on the halftime segment, a quick medical update on the Cavaliers' two best players, center Brad Daugherty and guard Mark Price. Each was hurt in last night's loss. Price suffered a mild sprain to his left ankle, but did not require x-rays and should start tomorrow in Game 6. Daugherty dislocated the middle finger on his shooting hand. He, too, will probably start, but he'll be limited.
I can't really grip the ball right today. I can. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be a little better and be able to do some things. But right now, it's pretty bad sore. I don't know if you've ever dislocated a finger or not.
Yeah, it feels a lot better than it did yesterday, so hopefully I'll be all right.
Will you be 100% by tomorrow night?
I don't know about 100%, but I'll be close.
Okay, quickly, we wanted to update you on today's action at the French Open. No major surprises. On the men's side, defending champion Jim Courier won in straight sets. Pete Sampras, Michael Steek, and Andre Agassi also won their second-round matches. On the women's side, top seed Monica Seles advanced, as did Gabriela Sabatini and Jennifer Capriati. That'll do it from New York. For Quinn Buckner, I'm Bob Costas, and we'll return with second-half action, the Blazers and the Jazz, right after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by the companies of the Prudential. In a changing world, one thing remains rock solid: the Prudential.
Welcome back to the Delta Center. The start of this game, it looked as if the Utah Jazz were going to win this game, draw even in the series, 3 games apiece, blew out to a 9-0 lead, had a 13-point advantage down to 4 at halftime. You've been watching John Stockton. Does he appear to be 100% to you?
Oh, he's definitely 100%. He's aggressive, he's active, he's making the pinpoint passes, and that's why the Utah Jazz are up at halftime.
But they're up by only 4, and Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter did not have big first halves.
We didn't hear from them. They're non-existent as far as this ball game goes, but the Trailblazers got a big hit and a big lift from Buck Williams. Williams came in, gave them 15 points. He has been almost unheard of through all of these series, only averaging 5. He's got 15 and 7, so the Trailblazers are in the ball game.
All right, let's take a look at the Miller Genuine Draft halftime statistics. There is that backcourt scoring for Portland. Their strength, only 14 combined from Drexler and Porter, while Stockton and Jeff Malone have countered with 22. And Utah has out-rebounded Portland, perhaps that accounting for the 4-point lead. Free throws in a ballpark where usually it's Utah always at the line, fairly even in the first 24 minutes. And it's Drexler with only 4, Porter with but 6. The top 2 scorers in the series for the Trailblazers held in check the first half. Can Utah accomplish that in the next 24? If they can, perhaps Game 7 on Saturday.
Business before we go back out to Salt Lake City to Burbank first to find out about the lineup on the Tonight Show. Here is Mr. Leno. Jay.
Hi, Bob. How are you? Boy, that clip-on tie looks pretty real from here.
Thanks so much.
Big show tonight. Who do we have? Well, we're not on at a normal time. We keep getting bumped ahead, but it is a good game, so that's okay. We got Sigourney Weaver tonight from Aliens 3. Have you seen that yet?
Have not. Looking forward to it, though.
No, you haven't. You're just sitting there.
I haven't. That's right.
Don Francisco is here. Do you know who Don is?
He's the guy who hosts the Spanish language Tonight Show, in effect, right?
Yeah. A very funny guy. Curtis Stigers, Tony Randall, Jack Klugman doing a live commercial. So it should be fun. You should check it out.
Yeah, they should be nearly as odd a couple as the two of us. We'll see when the ball game ends.
With this delay, you come on at, what, 5:45, I believe.
Something like that. It's butted right up against the Today Show. We're out of here. Back to Dick Enberg at the Delta Center, along with Magic Johnson and Snapper Jones, Jay Leno, and the Tonight Show a bit later on when the ball game concludes.
All right, Bob, we're underway in the second half. Utah with the ball first. There are the scores in the first half, and if you can read us that quickly, you know just where they stand. Lou Edwards, same 5 for Utah starting the second half, same 5 for Portland, and nearly a turnover. Drexler can't get to it. Let's take a look at those scores. Buck Williams and Jerome Kersey. Kersey continuing his top play. Karl Malone leading the Jazz with 14. Lou Edwards, a solid 13.
They've got great balance in that scoring attack, and that's going to be crucial. Lou Edwards misses right at the rim.
Duckworth rebounds. Kersey, and he gets a fist in the face from Mark Eaton. The second foul on Eaton.
Well, Dick, every time you have to move Mark Eaton, or he has to move, he's going to come over and foul you. Here Jerome beats Lou Edwards, and Mark comes down on Jerome Kersey's face. And he was able to do that because he got the step on Lou Edwards, and Mark, when he has to move, really can't get there, and you can beat him to the basket.
Slow reacting, and even though he doesn't want to always have that arm fall, he can't stop it. And that's what happened. He starts with his hands up, and when he tries to make the block, the hand is going to come down and continue on right until it hits something.
Kersey hits them both, and the Utah lead at 2. Portland pulled within 1 in the second quarter, 35-34, have never led.
Karl Malone is normally not the passer, and he'll come up with a new set to try to get Eaton a shot. He follows.
And he's blocked. That's 3 blocks by Jerome Kersey in the game. Clyde looking to tie. He got it, and he is fouled.
When you have athletes, and this is all that they talk about with Portland, you get these kinds of plays. Eaton 7-4, taken away by a 6'6" Kersey. Now Drexler's off balance, and he just throws this one up. Gets a good bounce, and now a chance for a 3-point play. Portland needs Drexler to come to the dance in the third quarter if they're to get some breathing room, try to get control of this game.
Lou Edwards committed the foul. Drexler unable to give the Blazers their first lead. Tied at 59 with 11 to go in the third quarter. And on the block to Karl Malone, and he is blocked by Buck Williams and looks wantingly for a foul, and Malone is yet to get back on defense. Now he's in the picture. Drexler takes advantage of it, wide open down the paint, and Portland leads for the first time.
22nd timeout by the Utah Jazz. Excellent call here by Coach Sloan. Regroup, slow this game down, and get this crowd back into it. He needs to run a play here and score.
The problem that the Jazz are having is they're a little bit too static and predictable right now, and the Trailblazers are ganging whatever the play is. They get the ball back to Drexler down the lane, and that's the first time tonight where Drexler's had back-to-back chances to get into the high percentage area. He's made them pay both times. Starting to get into this game. Now stop bumping me.
I know I'm bumping. I'm getting into it because right now, those two baskets by Drexler was caused by Portland's team defense. And they need to do more of that to get him more baskets and more easy hoops.
Blazers with a lead, 10:20 to go in the third. A victory for Portland. They're in the NBA Finals for the second time in 3 years. Stockton and Utah still have plenty to say, and a foul. Fans feel there have been others, and one of the Salt Lake version of the Bronx cheer on that call. Jerome Kersey's second foul. He has been outstanding at both ends of the court, not only scoring, but his shot blocking as well. Karl Malone. His potency as a free throw shooter, although he misses that one, reflected. Here are the leading scores for Utah if you take and separate Malone's field goals and free throws. He's second just on field goals, 18, and he'd be fourth on the team just on free throw scoring, 10.7 in the playoffs. He has his fifth free throw tonight and his 15th point. Portland by 1.
Down to 5. Drexler's trying to get inside.
Drexler short on that one, and then Drexler almost with a steal. Stockton waits for help. Buck Williams forcing Malone outside. Kersey with a rebound.
Kersey's the only Trailblazer who's got to get up and go in. Every time he's gotten the ball, he's looked to be aggressive and pushing. The rest of the Trailblazers in a trotting mode, and that really hasn't helped them get that transition game.
Karl Malone and Drexler in a little pushing match as Malone went back on offense, and he comes over to say something to the official.
Well, what Clyde did was he held Karl Malone up. He pushed him to get him off balance so he couldn't get that layup. So it was a good move by Drexler, and he didn't get caught on that play.
And now a foul against Mark Eaton and a technical foul on Sloan. Well, one thing for certain, Portland has gotten the calls on Utah's floor tonight. And Jerry Sloan says, I better go to work battling for my club, and this crowd most unhappy.
Question is whether Sloan will be able to contain himself and stay in the ball game. He's really upset, but Eaton, trying to set his screen, picked up the personal foul.
Steve Javy made the call. Porter gets the technical shot. Now Portland with a ball on the sidelines. And a timeout called by Utah coach Jerry Sloan. 62-60, the Blazers lead.
The crowd and Jerry Sloan are unhappy about the call against Mark Eaton, but you'll see he's trying to set the screen. The reason for the call, he's out in the open, he's exposed. If that was an interior screen, it probably wouldn't have been called. Sloan is saying, we need something tougher than that. Don't take those cheap calls and make them work against us.
Well, in a game where Utah has been in the lead most of the contest and playing on its home court where it's used to getting the call, they have not tonight. 15 fouls against Utah, 9 called against the visitors. Porter. Edwards able to tip it to Karl Malone.
They got a 5-on-4. Buck Williams was knocked down and held. Drew Edwards is wide open. Let's see if they can score to get an illegal defense out of it.
A warning against Portland, so each team has been warned. They'll shoot technicals from now on.
Right now, the Utah Jazz players have got to stop looking at the referees and play basketball. If they keep looking at the referees, just like what happened to Portland in game 4 here, will happen to them in this game 6 here.
62-60, Portland in the lead.
Not only are they looking at the officials, but they seem tentative about where they want to get a shot.
Jeff Malone ties it up. Malone with his 14th. Stolen by Stockton. Drexler to beat. Drexler blocks it. And a foul against Utah. Oh, my. Blue Edwards third.
Stockton coming in. He thought he had a clear path to the hoop. Drexler didn't block it. He forced him to change, and he didn't get it up high enough. Blue Edwards came over the top of Terry Porter.
Edwards third. Duckworth. And Portland reclaims the lead at 64-62. Duckworth in double figures with 10.
They need to keep running that pick and roll play, make Mark Eaton help, and kick it out to Kevin Duckworth. He's hit maybe 5 jump shots today because of the same play.
Jeff Malone tipped beautifully by Karl Malone, reaching way out to bat that one in.
And Dick, I don't know how he could get his big arms out there with all the muscles he got in him to tip that in.
Clyde Drexler, and in a shooting contest, Portland back in front by 2. 10 for Drexler. Well, you knew he was going to awaken.
What Portland has done better here at the top of the third quarter is pressure and keep John Stockton out of the middle.
Edwards seemed confused. He tried to take Stockton's role. Instead of giving it to Stockton, let Stockton set up the mailman. He tried to do it himself and lost the ball.
Drexler asking for a screen.
Percy, fans wanted a violation there. It appeared that Percy picked up the dribble and then continued. Stockton gets his second foul. Fourth team foul, so Portland will be in the penalty on the next call, and there's 6:43 left in the third. Blue Edwards out and Ty Corbin in for Utah.
What Jerry Sloan needs is an assertive, aggressive player, and that's why Ty Corbin is in the game. Blue Edwards is beginning to feel a little anxiety and the pressure of Portland closing in on him.
Drexler back out to Porter for 3. Way off the mark. Jeff Malone. Well, Terry Porter's been shooting 60% of his trays cold tonight.
A reality has come to Porter from three-point distance. I mean, he's still going to shoot the ball and will undoubtedly end up making one. Buck Williams goes for a long walk. He thought he was around in front and able to make a deflection. They try to post, and Buck Williams trying to get around in front. The official said he got a piece of him. The reaction.
That was the kind of play where he applauded in the official's face 2 games ago and got the technical. A collision in the paint, and this one also against Buck. So he had only 1 foul in the first half, and he picks up 2 within seconds of each other.
Well, on the out-of-bounds play, they set a double pick for Karl Malone to come off, and Buck tried to go through Mark Eaton, and you know that's an impossible task of trying to run through Mark Eaton, and he picked up for the foul, trying to run through Mark.
And another foul. Is this against Williams? No, this one against Drexler, his second. Again, trying to fight through.
But this is a payback. Drexler got popped earlier by Karl Malone at this end of the floor and gave him a shot. But, you know, Portland now pushing themselves toward the penalty, and this is where the Jazz can stay in a ball game because offensively, right now, they're not certain of where to score.
Both teams now with 4 team fouls in the quarter. 6 minutes left in this period. Utah trailing by 2. Jeff Malone. Out of bounds to Portland. Ruled that Karl Malone over the top knocked it out.
the fans should be happy because they could have called a foul on Karl Malone. So they should be clapping saying, thank you, referee.
Two-man game.
Duckworth. Percy almost tipped it in. Corbin clears. Stockton. Karl Malone ties it up. 66. 5:23 left in the third. Karl now with 19 points and 13 rebounds for Malone. He's working on a possible 20-rebound game. Drexler.
8 1/4, so Drexler has come to life and has kept Portland on the lead, and the pressure on the Utah Jazz to come up with some good offensive execution, which was excellent in the first half.
Jeff Malone working the baseline. Doesn't get the bounce, but it comes out to Karl Malone. Stockton slapping his hands to get the mailman's attention. Get it out here to me. Let's set it up.
They don't like to operate on this side of the floor. Karl Malone can't get to the middle. Jeff Malone turnover.
Williams with a steal, and Drexler hustles down court to slam. Windmills it in.
Well, he saw Karl Malone, so he wanted Karl to jump. And if he had a jump, he was going to try to take his head off. That was a payback to just let Karl know that, hey, I'm here to play, Karl.
Inside, knocked away, and a whistle. Drexler with 10 points of his 14 in this quarter.
Well, that's got you rocking like you're in church. You're over here just swaying back and forth. You know, this kind of play has got you wanting a uniform.
Well, I love it because the two superstars are playing basketball right now when both their teams need them to come up with a great effort. You're getting an effort from both players, especially here in the third quarter.
Oh, you pay the price when you turn it over against Portland. 18 points. Ty Corbin off the foul called on Kersey. Jerome Kersey, the first Blazer with 3 fouls, and he is rested by Adelman. Cliff Robinson in. And Mark Eaton goes out. Mike Brown returns. He has 3 fouls.
What Portland must do here now with Mark gone is go back to that pick and roll, try to attack the basket, because Mark Eaton causes them so many problems. But now with him on the bench, they can attack the basket and maybe get to the free throw line with easy moves.
And they didn't do that the first time when Eaton was on the bench, so we'll see if they've learned from the first half.
Just off the fingertips of Porter as Drexler tried to thread that pass through a lot of Utah arms. Chance for the Jazz to tie. No foul as Porter goes down. Mike Brown. Malone way outside. Mike Brown gets the rebound. Jeff Malone.
That's one thing the Jazz have done is give themselves second and third opportunities. Right now the ball is not going in for them.
Drexler at the other end. Jeff Malone with the rebound. Stockton on the run. 3-on-3. Corbin takes it in. Will it count? It was foul Portland against Porter. And it was another, could have gone either way.
No, the reason he got this called against him in Terry Porter is because he was too far up under the basket. Here you got Tyrone Corbin. See, Porter is in the purple, and once you're in the paint like that, they are not going to give you that charging call, and most of the time, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to go against the defensive player. So good call by the referee there.
Lou Edwards returns for Jeff Malone. We have a timeout. When we return, it'll be the Jazz at the line trying to tie it at 70. Karl Malone averaging 29.5 in the playoffs, 28 on the regular year. He has 19 tonight. And there's the mailman's delivery truck, his own 18-wheeler. He paid over $200,000 for it. How would you ever know it was him?
Well, once he got out of it, you would know that it was him.
Did you ever have a ride in it?
No, he hasn't invited me yet, and I don't know if I would ride in there with him.
He wants to haul Spuds from Idaho back to his home state, Louisiana, in the offseason. Ty Corbin to tie it with 3:11 left in the third quarter. A quarter that has seen the Jazz ice cold. They've shot only 19%, but are still tied. Cliff Robinson has trouble with it. Corbin takes it away. Stockton, no one there. And here comes Clyde. Robinson with the easy two, and Drexler, great pass. Just as Edwards came over to defend, he found the open man.
No, what happened was, Dick, Edwards came over to foul him, and Clyde didn't let him foul him because he passed the ball quick on him, and it ended in a dunk for Cliff Robinson. So good move by Clyde Drexler.
You see the Trailblazers' defensive intensity has really picked up, and the Jazz are having a difficult time getting the entry pass that they want. They get a foul against Danny Ainge, or they call it Buck Williams. That is his board.
Buck Williams, and he feels the last three fouls have really been borderline.
Well, you see them hook and lock right there. And in the first half, they were allowing that play to be called. Buck Williams puts his fingers up for a 3-second call. He has to go out of the game. That will change the defensive pressure that Portland can apply, and it'll have to come from someplace else. Either Cliff Robinson or Jerome Kersey will be the guy trying to keep Malone out of the middle.
See, Steve, as a player, you hate that call because for 2 quarters in the first half, you're letting that play go, you're letting it happen. So now you get in here in the third quarter, and all of a sudden he has 3 fouls called on him because they're being physical. That's what you want down there. You want guys to be in there and be physical.
Buck Williams looking for the 3-second call.
You counted 1,005 by then, by the time he got the ball.
He ties it up at 72. With Buck Williams, his tormentor defensively on the sidelines with 4 fouls.
You know the Jazz are going to come inside, and it's important for Portland to try to center their attack inside as well without eating in there.
Duckworth, Mike Brown has him. Duckworth with a left hand. Well done. He has 12. Approaching the 2-minute mark, third quarter. High-scoring game. That would figure to play into Portland style. Corbin to Karl Malone. Can't hit it.
Good defensive rotation by Kevin Duckworth. Made him miss that shot.
Drexler has it knocked away. He traveled.
Clyde got a little bit off balance that time and got his feet tangled up and was called for the traveling.
No, Utah on offense. 74-72 Portland. Blazers maintaining the composure that they lost in Game 4 despite the whistle circumstances here in the last 5 minutes.
But in this third quarter, they have had Stockton going backward. They get a call against Karl Malone, this time against Jerome Kersey. So the Jazz are in one of those slow, struggling states. But the good thing for them is that they are still close to the lead. Trying to post and hold his position. You see that big arm go out and hook. They say too much of an advantage.
Third foul on the mailman. Drexler pulls up and hits it cleanly. And that matches Portland's biggest lead, 4. 1:10 to go in the third. Drexler, a huge third period, 12 points.
And see, this is where people say the Jazz's offense is too predictable. They get into a slow run, and all they're doing is going down on the left side of the floor, coming in down on the box. This time, they're not able to get the ball, but they get an illegal defense. He could use an Alka-Seltzer about that.
Stockton will shoot the technical, and then Utah ball on the side. 76-73. Rick Adelman, big baseball fan, and another technical foul apparently. Against whom? Kersey?
Karl Malone.
Oh, Malone gets it. Oh, my. So Danny Ainge will shoot at the other end.
Whatever was said was not said under his breath.
The youngest official in experience, Steve Javie, 6 years in the NBA, has been the man involved in most of the technical action.
But, Dick, we're talking about a man that threw out a mascot in Washington, D.C. He might come throw you out if you say the wrong thing.
Thank you. Thank you for the warning. And a foul called by Chavy.
Committed by Ainge, who's first.
Danny Ainge's first foul will send Stockton to the line for the penalty.
Well, I don't think right now that the Utah Jazz players are adjusting to how the officials are calling the game. And that's what they need to do.
That is not Chavy. There's your veteran leader of this pack, Darryl Garrettson, the chief of the NBA officiating crews, and Chavy, the younger of the three. Final seconds of the third quarter. Ainge. Look at Edwards go to the iron for that rebound. And here comes Stockton. Jerry Sloan wants him to hurry to get 2 for 1. 30 seconds on the clock.
They had Blue Edwards wide open for a three, and now they're looking back for Malone.
Tyrone Corbin ties it at 77. 13 for Corbin. Shot clock is off.
Stockton will play for a steal in this situation. They have to protect the ball away from John Stockton.
Drexler double team. Finally finds Duckworth. It's over. They don't get the shot off. The end of the third. A period in which Utah icy cold from the floor. Drexler scoring 12 to rally the Blazers to a tie. 77 aside. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Welcome back to the fourth quarter here at the Delta Center. Good news, Portland. They overcome a 4-point halftime lead to tie it after 3. Good news for the Jazz. They lost only 4 points from their lead despite shooting only 22% in that third quarter.
Dick, that was a physical quarter. Now, let's see who's going to be the team to come out of this quarter with enough to survive this fourth quarter and win this game.
Well, we know that the Jazz are down manpower-wise, and if Portland can move the ball and attack the basket, they have the obvious advantage.
One-handed rebound. Edwards off the miss by Kersey. Is this the last 12 minutes of the Utah season, or will we go to Portland for Game 7 to decide the NBA Finals from the West Saturday afternoon? Away from the ball, a foul as Malone goes down. Cliff Robinson has his second foul.
This will hurt Portland if they get a series of these kind of team fouls against them. And they're trying to set up Karl Malone down on the box. Robinson fights it, and they say he held him up. Personal against Cliff Robinson.
Stockton, a miss, and Porter has it for Portland.
Also, Magic, the big key will be which team gets to the rim. If both teams play outside, it's going to be a question of which team gets a hot streak. But the team that goes to the basket is going to prevail.
Mike Brown out of control, didn't have a shot. Loose ball, Edwards. Utah back in front, the first basket of the fourth quarter.
Duckworth has Mike Brown on him. He will be able to get a shot or make a pass to an open Trailblazer if they go through it.
Three-pointer by Ainge, and that finally a tray for the Trailblazers, who make hay with that shot all season long and certainly throughout the playoffs. They're 1 for 6 and had the lead 80-79. Stockton looking for Karl Malone, who moves out of the paint for a moment. Cliff Robinson hounding him. And the cold shooting continues for the home team.
Well, what's happening, Dick, with Jeff Malone on the bench, you really only have one guy they're trying to go to all the time, and that's Karl Malone. They must get more guys involved in the offense.
Duckworth double teamed. Finds Robinson open. Robinson is fouled by Malone. No whistle. Drexler and Kersey. It's Kersey coming out with it.
One of the reasons that Robinson doesn't get a lot of calls, he loses control of the ball on the way up. If he could maintain that, and he's hurting right now. Looked like he took a shot.
7 seconds, Porter. And with the knee, Mike Brown right in front of Darryl Garrettson. Pretty obvious foul. His fourth.
Mike Brown, we've got a timeout.
9:26 left in the fourth. The Blazers by 1.
Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Tonight's Miller Genuine Draft Moment takes us back to last year's Western Conference Finals. Portland trying to stay alive against the Lakers. Over. Porter to Kersey, and Robinson loses the ball on a 3-on-1. Oh, my. The Blazers in disbelief could not recover as they lose the game and the conference championship to the Lakers 91-90. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Well, even though Robinson lost that ball out of bounds, Portland got it back. Porter took an open shot from the corner. You rebounded it, and I'll never forget that moment when you just rolled it to the other end of the court.
Well, who is Miller going to donate the money in the name of Cliff Robinson or in my name?
Always keeping a check and balance system, huh?
Thank you, Cliff. You needed that one.
Now Game 6, 1992. And it's the Trailblazers leading by 1, 80-79. Utah scored only 5 field goals the entire second half. Portland has 10. It's Kersey setting up. Bryant loses the ball.
No player on the Trailblazers has more trouble scoring from 2 feet and in than Mark Bryant. He gets real anxious, and that time it was a costly turnover.
Bryant will be on Karl Malone defensively. Corbin left open. He's the one Utah player that has shot the ball consistently this second half.
Well, Tyrone is an excellent spot-up shooter, and that time he proved that point. And there's another excellent spot-up shooter.
Danny Ainge, his second trade. 83-81 Blazers.
Well, we're seeing the effect of the physical play. Players are not reacting and getting out to wide open people.
Whistle away from the ball. 3 points, such a key to the total offense of the Trailblazers. They have scored 93 points on trays. That's just in this series, led by Porter and Ainge, and only 9 made by Utah. For 27 points. As the Blazers all season long went for the 3, trying to hit Malone, but Malone had already hit the floor.
Mark Bryant, his second personal, Portland's third.
Portland has 3 team fouls, 8:19 left to go in the fourth. You got a team that's struggling. The best way that they can stay in the ball game, stop the clock, go to the line, you will know that the Jazz are going to come back and try to pound it inside to Karl Malone.
Malone starts up high. You see Bryant on him. Well, they had him there for the pick and roll. Jeff Malone back in. He's short. Tapped out by Eaton and recovered by Ty Corbin. Gets it to the setup man, Stockton, knocked away. And it's Robinson at the other end to convert for Portland. A big play. Another turnover resulting in Blazer points.
When you're 6'11" and you're an athlete at the same time, you can cause turnovers like that. Cliff Robinson got them big hands up there, knocked the ball away.
Holding against Mark Bryant, trying to stop the mailman.
Robinson flies and gets a piece of that when Mark Bryant looks up, and it's an easy 2 for the Trailblazers and Robinson. But again, it is Karl Malone drawing the foul. 4th team foul. Bryant gets another whistle.
Well, I think Coach Otterman has to come back with Buck Williams soon here.
Stockton sees some daylight. It's Karl Malone off the mark. They want him to shoot outside the Portland defense.
Well, you see the Jazz don't want to shoot. You know, they're very tentative now about where to get a shot. They're passing a shot they were taking earlier.
Bryant from the baseline. There's his first 2. And it's the biggest lead of the game for the Portland Trail Blazers as Sloan calls time with the score 87-81. The success of the Trail Blazers from three-point range reflected in that new NBA playoff record in a single series, 31. The two by Danny Ainge. Ainge, who's hitting home runs in basketball now with the Toronto Blue Jays, a major leaguer in another sport, 2 years. We asked him if there's any comparison to hitting a home run in basketball.
Yeah, I think so. I think making a great pass for a game-winning basket or making a three-pointer to tie or win a game, I think compares to hitting that feeling of the home run. I wouldn't know very much. I only hit 2.
Well, he's got 2 basketball homers in the fourth quarter tonight. And now Utah needs a score on this trip, down by 6.
This is where the Jazz feel that they need their crowd. They're down. They need a lift. They need something cheap and easy. They're going to get a foul against Cliff Robinson trying to reach across. Penalty situation now.
But see, Steve, that's killing them. Why reach around when you know the referee's been calling that all night? Why try it when you can get the double team coming and get maybe the ball out of Karl Malone's hand? Now you send him to the free throw line making a soft foul. You don't want the clock to stop.
Speaking of the clock, 7 minutes left in the fourth. That means we have played 17 minutes in this half, and Utah has scored only 6 field goals.
And a big reason for that, Dick, was Jeff Malone had been out. See, they only had really about 3 plays. And those plays, 2 of them are Karl Malone and the other one is Jeff Malone. So he was out and you couldn't run a play for anybody else.
The way here is Daryl Gerritsen has found a slick spot on the floor. And
That's what those people are falling down on.
Gives us a chance to remind you that more NBA playoff action tomorrow night here on NBC at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time. Michael Jordan, Mark Price, the Bulls, and the Cavaliers. For Cleveland, a must-win to force a decisive Game 7. Chicago looking for a victory that will send them into the finals to defend their NBA championship.
I think they got to get Mark Price and Doherty back. If the 2 of them are even slightly injured and can't play up to their capability, Chicago is going to win that game tomorrow. So they're going to have to get both of them healthy in a hurry.
Malone 7 for 8 tonight. We told you he's averaging 11 points a game just from the free throw line in the entire playoffs. There's his 8th tonight, 22 in the game. About his own mailman, he said, boy, has he been busy lately. So I used to get about 500 letters a week. I'm getting a couple thousand now since you fellas put me on TV.
Well, he deserves it, I tell you.
The Jazz hoping that they can come up with a stop against the Blazers. Bryant. And Portland gets it back. 3-point try. Porter. Jeff Malone with the rebound. Robinson got away with it. And now out of bounds to Utah.
Timeout called by Portland.
Smart play.
Timeout Portland.
That was a veteran play by Clyde Drexler on the ground. Knew he couldn't do anything and called timeout. Smart move by a veteran player.
Let's watch Terry Porter as he takes this 3.
Now that's Eaton again. Once he commits himself, he's going to come through whatever's in his way.
That's not a foul.
Show with Jay Leno tonight. We have Sigourney Weaver, Don Francisco, Curtis Stigers, and some other people.
Hey, I said Hall, he's an announcer. I'm paying the guy. I might as well use him, huh? And Branford Marsalis, too. On The Tonight Show. Say something else. You're the announcer.
It's time. The time is up yet? Oh, no, the time's not up yet.
That's why we got him so cheap. Watch The Tonight Show tonight.
That'll be at 11:35 Pacific time, and after your local news in the East and Midwest. With 6:36 left, Utah trails by 4, but they'll go to the line on every Portland foul from now on. and they have been mighty successful tonight. 24 of 26 from the charity line. Portland 17 for 20, and Utah has only one team foul.
That's a big advantage for them. So Portland has got to be aggressive and attacking the rim.
Three-pointer, Porter. He's got it.
That was because of the penetration by Cliff Robinson. He threw not only John Stockton to him, but also Maloney kicked it back out for the three from Terry Porter.
They're trying to diversify their offense. They're trying to get a shot for someone else other than Karl Malone.
Stockton can't hit the layup. No one able to put it in the hole for the Jazz, and 6 minutes remain. Is that the Utah season? They trail by 7. And the Trailblazers turning it up a notch on offense.
8 seconds on the shot clock.
Drexler too high for Robinson. Apologizes to his teammate.
Well, you know what has to happen on that play, Dick? With Mark Eaton in the game, he must fade to the corner and catch it. Now Mark is gone out. Now he can roll to the basket. But even if he had caught it, Mark was right there.
Mike Brown replaces Eaton. Malone loses the handle, and Drexler picks it off. Haynes moves out and thought about a three-pointer, but Drexler had fallen, so he waits for his star teammate to get into the pattern.
Well, Stockton tried to draw a charge, and had the officials been looking that way, Drexler ran right over him, coming back to Clyde.
There's Clyde with another 2 and a 9-point Blazer lead, and that forces Jerry Sloan to call another timeout. 5:14 remaining, and the cheers can be heard in the Northwest. Jerry Sloan is a wonderfully candid coach, so we took a risk and asked him, anticipating a Portland win tonight, what would he say to his team if they lose?
If they lay it all out there, I have no problems, one way or the other. That's the most important thing when you walk away from it 10 years from now. I think you'd want to be able to say to yourself that I gave everything I had to it, and if you don't win, fine. If you win, that's great. But you can't walk away and say, well, I wish I'd tried a little harder. And sometimes you, as an ex-player, I've had guys say that, and it's a pretty weak statement if you really like to play.
It must be hurting him inside to see his team so incredibly often in shooting in the second half. Still only 6 field goals this entire half. In the hands of Duckworth, forcing the deflection.
The predictability is what is killing them right now. You're going Malone, left side. Portland now is sending 4 people down there on the box. Shot clock at 5.
And Steve, that's why you want to get up on the Utah Jazz, because you know what they're going to run, and they can't change their game.
There's the only man who's been able to shoot the ball for Utah in the half, Tyrone Corbin. He has 18.
Well, David Benoit not being there has really hurt them because they had 8 solid players. Now they're down. Foul situation hurts them more. Porter's penetration, another pain that the Jazz have to live with.
12 points for Terry Porter. 4:20 left in the game. Corbin inside to Mike Brown. He misses. Jump ball is the call. Clyde Drexler came out of it with the ball. Karl Malone will jump it for Utah.
What made this move so great was the fact that here he is. He switches hands right in the mid-air, and went to his left hand, and he fooled Mike Brown, who had came over to challenge him. Excellent move by Terry Porter.
And it also means that Portland is not being tentative and worrying about the clock. They're going to try to get the cheap score whenever it's there. They're going to have to re-jump this.
That was an Olympic toss by the official of these 2 USA teammates of yours, Magic.
Well, Karl Malone knows he has to get up quick because Clyde can really out-jump him.
Stockton 3.
Way off. Brown keeps it alive. Ooh, and bodies colliding, and a foul.
In all reality, that was an excellent foul. Don't give him the layup or the dunk shot. Send him to the free throw line and make him make 2 free throws.
Brown has not scored tonight. That was Buck Williams' 5th foul.
Well, for Mike Brown, his rhythm was taken out with 3 quick early fouls. When he's been able to play well, he's been able to get in the game, avoid foul trouble, get some cheap shots inside where they're so concentrated on Malone. He's there for either a putback or an easy dunk.
Well, this game, he didn't adjust to the officiating of the game.
Well, you should have ran over there and told him.
I was trying to let him know as much as I could, as best as I could, that you had to adjust. When you're in a big game, the first 5 minutes are crucial. Look to see what the referees are calling, then adjust your game accordingly. They were calling it a quick whistle, so you had to adjust to that. Mike Brown did not adjust to that.
And again, when you talk about the absence of David Benoit, he gets in foul trouble. That puts an extreme amount of pressure on the Jazz bench. They had to go to Thornton, you know, other players over there are rookies.
All that aside, gentlemen, they still, Utah, incredibly. I wonder if you went through the whole season if they've shot the ball as poorly as they have for a half at home as tonight.
You know why, Dick? It took everything they had to send that game into overtime the other night, and I don't think they have it tonight.
Percy with Robinson, another chance. Porter for 3. This could do it. Oh, did you see Percy fly in there? And a foul. Or the Blazers making it tough, the full 94 feet for Utah.
Well, what Portland doesn't want to do after a missed shot is foul. They all climbed to the board that time, and Drexler trying to keep the ball with them, try to steal it from Mike Brown. Brown back at the line. They are struggling to score. Brown is not a great free thrower, but, you know, this is a chance for them to get some cheap points.
3rd foul on Drexler. Brown makes 2 out of 3 on the regular season. He's 2 for 3 tonight. 3:37 left. Blazers with 3 full plus a 20. Jazz have just 2 timeouts left. Full. 6-point game.
The Jazz have fouls to give, but that's really not their game plan. They want to force Portland to become a perimeter team, maybe get them to miss.
8 on the shot clock. Duckworth and then knocked away for a moment. Porter to Drexler with 3. He has to force it. Rebound the mailman. This is a big trip for Utah. 3 for Stockton. And again, it just won't fall. And one wonders if that vision, that eye has had an effect.
I love John Stockton, and I don't want to criticize him, but that play, he had Mike Brown trailing wide open for the dunk, and because he hadn't been hitting a three-point all game, maybe he should have kicked it to him.
Stockton is 0 for 6 from three-point range tonight.
The difference in the calls. Drexler was foul on his three-point shot against the clock. Officials will rarely put you on the line when you're shooting a desperation shot. This time he goes strong to the hole. He gets a whistle and a chance to build on the Trailblazer lead.
See, the problem with Clyde Drexler on the free throw line is he backs out before the ball is even released out of his hand. He's got to stay in there and follow through with his shot.
He misses them both, and Karl Malone saves. 2:40 left. Corbin. It's a 4-point game. 2:30 left. 20 now for Corbin. He's had back-to-back big games. 28 the last contest. Porter sees daylight and sees someone hammer him. Mike Brown, his 5th.
You don't think that the Utah Jazz players really understand that the Portland Trailblazers can't shoot free throws? That's why they fouled him on the last 2 possessions here.
Porter coming down the lane, but he's looking free throw all the way. He is their best free thrower. And they had this problem in Phoenix where the best free thrower is certainly locked up, and that allowed the Suns to stay in the ball game. They eventually won, but Porter has been the best under pressure. He gets the first one.
Buck Williams returns to the Blazer lineup. Duckworth goes out.
That is the look of a working man, an angry working man at that. Porter with the chance to get his second.
Looking for a 6-point lead. Boy, a college crowd. And it doesn't help the Utah Jazz as Porter calmly hits both free throws.
It endangers the Jazz as well. Please do not throw things in the play.
Warning for some fans throwing items on the floor. Closing in on the 2-minute mark. They get it to the hot hand. Corbin. And a foul. And Rick Adelman thought it was a charge. Robinson ticketed with his fourth.
This is what Portland does not want. Stops of the clock. They want the Jazz to use every bit of the 24 seconds to try to get a score. Cliff Robinson not quite set, so the call goes against him.
Corbin 6 for 6 from the line tonight. That's his 21st point.
Now, Corbin has been every bit as good in Game 6 as he was in Game 5 in terms of giving them an offensive punch.
That's 50 points in the last 2 games for Tyrone Corbin off the bench. Back to a 4-point Blazer lead.
2 minutes remaining.
2 minutes to go. Porter again. An aggressive move that won't fall. Karl Malone clears to Stockton. Drexler back. Corbin misses the layup. Brown blocked by Williams. And a jump ball. And that's been another story. The Blazers' ability to block close-in shots all night. They've had 8 or 9.
With aggressive, swarming defense just coming through for the Portland Trail Blazers. Mike Brown had a layup out of nowhere. I think it was either Cliff Robinson or Kersey coming to block it. Here it is here.
Well, you see them tie up right at the end. Mike Brown comes in and they rip the ball away. They'll get a jump ball, Malone and Jerome Kersey.
That's the 8th block, 4 of them by Kersey. And the Blazers control the tap with 1:30 to go.
That was a set play. They always put 2 men. Wherever you have 2 men, you tap it to that corner. Good move by Jerome Kersey.
They're trying to keep the ball in the hands of Drexler and Porter down the stretch.
7 seconds on the shot clock. Robinson to the iron. And it's a 6-point lead again for Portland.
Stockton will look for some sort of 3-point play here.
And a blocking foul against the Blazers. It might have been Robinson.
Drexler coming across and they double him. Cliff Robinson this time goes strong and just lays it softly over the rim. But the emotions of Robinson cost the Trailblazers at the other end. They had Stockton on the sideline. That's already the extra man. He came over, tried to make a steal, put Stockton on the line, so the clock stops again.
With 1:08 remaining.
He got up there too late, Steve. He should have been up there already. And what he was trying to do, he started too late and then tried to rush up there. And, of course, that foul's going to go to John Stockton.
Portland by 4. Only the free throw shooting keeping Utah in the game. Foul on Malone trying to double team and take it away from Drexler.
His 4th, that's the first
Now,
team foul of the 2nd period.
Here it is on pick and roll. Malone tries to jump out there and pulls Clyde down. I think what the Portland Trail Blazers must do here, use the 24 seconds. You're up 4 points. Use it. Use some time. Take some time off the clock. And then go into your offense maybe with 10 seconds.
Robinson shoots with 17 seconds on the clock. Stockton comes out of the pack. Takes it all away and it doesn't score. Corbin has it knocked away. And again the Blazer defense under the basket. Taking it away from Utah, and it's Porter maybe sealing a victory at the other end as he is fouled.
They got bailed out on this play here on that fast break. Stockton couldn't convert. Robinson with the good hands to knock the ball away from, I think, Corbin. And then they score on the transition basket. Good defense. Excellent defense. Night long for the Portland Trail Blazers.
The Delta Center is quiet because they know with their last chance with John Stockton having to make an adjustment right there, they had a chance to get within 2. The ball is stripped. Cliff Robinson pushes it out, and somehow it ends up in the hands of Drexler, who feeds Terry Porter. Jeff Malone, not a shot blocker. You see the reaction of Porter, knowing they're going to the championship.
31 seconds remain, and some of the celebration begins, and they've done it defensively and to the dejection of the Utah faithful with 8 blocks and 9 steals. When you convert those into points, that explains the lead. 33 points on turnovers to 7 for Utah. Jazz trail by 2 3-pointers. Oh my! And answering that call, Stockton with the first of the game. 23 seconds.
Oh boy. Great move here by John Stockton. He saw that Jerome Kersey, who was shooting, I think, 60% in the playoffs here. He saw that he had the ball. He ran over and tried to tackle him to send him to the free throw line.
Kersey is shooting 67% in the playoffs, 23 of 34 before tonight, and tonight he's 6 for 8.
Heads-up move by John Stockton. See if it pays off right here for the Utah Jazz.
He rattles in the first one. So a 3-pointer can't tie.
But you know Stockton is going to come back and look for another quick trade. That stop the clock gave him at least life to make one more chance to get a tray or a 2 and put the pressure on the Trailblazers to convert from the line.
Ainge in, Robinson out for Portland.
Well, Coach Adamant knows that they're going to be fouling, and he'd rather have Danny Ainge going to that free throw line than Cliff Robinson.
18 points for Jerome Kersey. Porter trying to battle with Corbin. Corbin gets it. Buck Williams with 12 seconds. Porter with 10. Ainge to Drexler. And a whistle in the backcourt.
Fans here feel it's the officials that took this game away from them, but the Jazz couldn't respond to the aggressive defensive play of the Trailblazers. And one thing that really hurts you is when you can't make shots. I don't care what any coach says, your defensive intensity dies when you don't make field goals at the other end.
But 2 things happened in this game, Steve. You said it from the beginning. The Portland Trailblazers had to be aggressive, and they were aggressive, and they are aggressive, and that's why they're going to win this game. Second of all, that overtime where all those guys, Malone, all those guys had to play 50, 51 minutes, 48 minutes, has taken its toll and taken the legs from the Utah Jazz. That's why they couldn't make shots tonight.
A team that lost only 4 times all season. This is their 50th game at home. Utah, but they just couldn't shoot it in the second half tonight. Fatigue might well have been a factor. 6-point. The difference in the game with 7.4 seconds remaining. Utah in an entire half at home scoring 9 field goals, and that a credit to great defense by Portland. And many of those shot attempts in the entire game were right in the hole, right in front of the basket, but denied by the athletic Blazer team.
Well, when we talk to the Portland Trailblazer players, they always say, especially Clyde Drexler, if we're going to win with defense and team defense. And they've done that throughout this series.
Real quickly now, presuming that in 7.5 seconds Utah can't score 6 points, how does Portland match up against Chicago, do you think, Magic? How about Jordan? Who will they put on Jordan? Drexler?
Drexler will guard
Michael
Jordan, with them probably switching with Terry, sometime Porter, and whoever else off the bench. But they match up well. This is the matchup everybody wants anyway. Now, Chicago still has to take care of business, so we're not going to put them in the finals yet. But the world, the country wants to see Portland versus Chicago.
Well, except for Cleveland and
Utah. Of course. Because you're going to match athletes against athletes. Both teams want to run. You got two of the greatest open court players of all time playing in that game would be Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler.
Well, you see what they've done against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won both of those ball games, almost 120 points. Against the Bulls, they were barely able to get 102. So the Chicago Bulls will feel confident about playing them because they beat them twice, but they know right now they're not playing their best basketball.
Now, as we come down to the final seconds, we certainly want to thank the men who have been calling the shots. John Gonzalez, our director. John McGinnis, our producer. Thanks to Slingshot Snyderman for his help here at courtside as Utah looking for a pair of threes. Blue Edwards forcing from the corner. Rebound Porter. He's fouled by Delaney Rudd. And it's academic now. Second and the third remaining.
Well, we want to send you off and say have a good trip to Paris and Barcelona. You're leaving what, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, and Wimbledon as well. And we'll be joining Bud Collins and Chris Everett. And John McEnroe at Roland Garros. Our coverage beginning on Saturday at noon. 9 o'clock Pacific time, the French Open presented by Diet Coke.
And I think also we need to say congratulations to the Utah Jazz in terms of having an excellent season. They shouldn't have their heads hanging down. They've advanced to where they want to be in terms of they've never been here before, so next year they have something to build on. Congratulations to the Portland Trail Blazers because disappointment last year, now they're able to celebrate because this has been what they wanted. This is their mission all season, was to get back, to get to the finals rather, and they're there now.
So the final throw by Corbin doesn't even get that away. The Portland Trail Blazers, the champions of the West, a team that had the best record in the Western Conference in the regular season, prove once again that they are the team that will best represent this half of the National Basketball Association. Will it be Cleveland? Will it be the Chicago Bulls? This great team of athletes led by Clyde Drexler on the way to their second finals appearance in the last 3 years. Will it bring them their second NBA championship? Their only title won 15 years ago. The final score here in Utah, the Blazers 105, the Jazz 97.
Well, you see, both teams handled the loss and the victory with a great deal of class, and we'll see the Trailblazers go on, and as you said, the Jazz can look forward to next season.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Hey, don't worry about it, Utah. Just build on this. You had an excellent season. My hat goes off to the Portland Trailblazers.
A reminder again, the French Open now, because this game has ended. The Western Series will start at 3 o'clock Saturday, noon Pacific Coast time. Final score 105-97. Portland, the champions of the West.